All right, it look like we back on Salakia. Technical difficulties. Salakia. Let me go back out just to make sure. Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. All right, clap it up. All right, get a Lord in hand for that. But like I was saying about, us in general, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, how it's like we grasp to everything that is, negative. You know what I mean? Like you see all everybody's talking about Sexy Red and Sukiana. I don't, those sisters aren't like that in real life. Most of these entertainers and actors and actresses, it's like they are pushing an agenda because they think that that's what they have to do in order to get money. That's like whoring yourself out in a sense. You're doing these things, but you're doing them under certain circumstances. And that's why our oppressor has to pay. That's why our oppressors have to pay. A lot of the times we are in these, like selling drugs. You think the average person just woke up one day and said, I'm going to cook crack and destroy my own people? No, it's because of the conditions we were in, which doesn't give us a pass to do it. But we're so poor, we're so destroyed that we'll literally do anything in order to survive. When you take resources from people, when you don't give people fair chances in life, they're going to have their backs up against the wall and they're going to do what they have to do to survive. You understand? But the whole reason we're in these conditions is because we turned our back on the Lord. And if we turn back to the Most High God, we will come out of these conditions overnight. If we had brotherhood and sisterhood and say, I'm not going to sell my brother drugs. I'm not going to sell my sister drugs. I'm not going to make a whore out of my sister Alicia Keys. You understand? We would come out of this hell that we're in overnight. But we have to have some, Commander General Yohana said it last night, we have to have some faith. You understand? You have to have some courage. You have to learn how to make sacrifices and not be selfish. That's what it's going to take for us to overcome the hurdles and the obstacles that we go through every day as a nation. That's what it's going to take, man. And we have to start taking accountability for our actions, but not just going out the easy way because you get a bag, because you get 1 million likes on Instagram, because everyone's following you and paying attention to your lifestyle. Selling out your people, being selfish isn't worth it. It's not worth it. Because guess what? One day you can be rich, and the next day it can all be gone. It can all be gone the very next day. And then you'll be with the people, the same people who looked up to you. You'll be in the same position with them, looking up to someone who you used to be. And then the cycle just continues, and we just continue to suffer and be in hell and unalive each other and commit adultery and catch diseases. That's our lifestyle when we are selfish, and brotherhood and sisterhood will bring us up out of that if we understood it correctly. You understand? But this is what Swiss Beast said, man. Swiss Beast's reaction to wife Alicia Keys' flirty Super Bowl duet with Usher may surprise you. So it was they're labeling it a flirty. You understand? They're labeling it flirty. You can do a song with a brother and sister. That's the type of song, but why do you have to get behind her and grind and act like you're her, like she's your boo? No, she's Swiss Beast's boo. That's her man. And I don't think any real man is going to respect his wife dancing, on with another man like that. Another man having his, I know I sure as hell don't. I don't want nobody touching my woman. You understand? Not like that. And if the woman is comfortable with that, that says a lot about her character. Saturday, we were conducting an interview with this older lady. And Officer Malak can, witness this, because I was interviewing this older lady, sweet old lady. And some brother, I thought it was her nephew, because he was calling her auntie. But he was, the brother was a little turned. He is a little turned. He heard me say something in the interview, so he interrupted the interview while we're filming. And he wanted to say something. We're trying to tell the brother, okay, brother, give us a second. We'll talk to you next if you want to, right? So he's calling the lady auntie. He goes and hugs the lady, and she's like, my husband wouldn't like that. This is what she tells the brother. My husband wouldn't like what you're doing. You know what I mean? And she meant it. That's what sisters these days don't understand, is boundaries and respect. You understand? That old sweet lady came up in the era where sisters were modest. They wasn't trying to be like Sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion, and Cardi B. They didn't come outside with their behinds and breasts showing. They had self-respect. They had virtue. They were modest. Now it's like, as long as I can, sisters, not even sisters, this is American culture. We learned this from our oppressor. You understand? A woman will go get married, and the night before she's going to have a bachelorette party. And I've seen bachelorette parties. I mean, women literally suck out of straws that look like rods. And they have male exotic dancers. Is that what they call them? Male dancers? And they get slapped in the face by the male dancer. He's slapping them from between his legs in the face. And she's going to walk down the aisle in the morning and think that's okay. The brothers ain't no better. The men ain't no better. They going getting lap dances from some whore that you don't even know, giving all your damn money to her. Because that's American culture. Then you're going to come together, walk down the aisle like nothing happened. Your wife the night before just got slapped all in her face by some meat. And then you got some woman, that probably has STDs and Lord knows what. She's bent over in your face, and you talking about groceries. You going to the grocery store at the strip club, and then you're going to walk down the aisle tomorrow like nothing ever happened. Am I lying? Am I making this up? Somebody tell me if I'm making this up, but this doesn't sound like, American culture. This is what everybody does. No one has any self-respect or any dignity or any morals. And what does that teach our children? What does that teach our children? I read a precept earlier, and the feed was messed up. The feed was messed up. Let me read it again. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 22. Abstain from all appearance of evil. So that word abstain is like, to have some self-control, to not do. You know what I mean? Don't do the things that you want to do. Abstain from the appearances of evil. So even if Alicia Keys was just having fun and it was entertainment, what she was doing, the vibe that she's giving off, the way that she was dancing with another man, even if it's for entertainment purposes only, guess what? That's an appearance of evil, because you're married to Swiss Beats. But Swiss Beats is the type of cat who we call a simp. You understand? They might be, he might think it's player, but no real man would want his wife, to dance like that with any man. I mean, if you really love her, you wouldn't. If you really love that sister, you wouldn't. And if she loves you, she wouldn't. She wouldn't lower her standards to something so raunchy and disgusting. No, Alicia Keys would have been like, no, we're going to have to rewrite this. He's not grinding on me. I'm married. He can sing from 6 feet away. We can sing from 6 feet away to each other, do our duet, and the show still would have been good. You didn't even have to have the provocative at a show that's family oriented. The Super Bowl is a family show. Remember, they gave Janet Jackson all that hell when Justin Timberlake pulled her blouse down. They were saying how much, how disgusted they were because that was a family show. Now all of a sudden, Usher can grind on Alicia Keys freely. You don't even have to have that in the song for the show to be good. You don't. Everyone still would have had a good time. It's a good song, and everyone would have enjoyed it just as much. But because our oppressor is so defiled, because Christians are just so disgusting, you have to just fulfill every lust and show everybody how disgusting you can be. You understand? So this is what Swiss Beats said, man. Alicia Keys' husband, Swiss Beats, has major thoughts on his wife's steamy performance, Super Bowl performance with Usher. The musical powerhouses joined forces during halftime at the Chiefs versus 49ers game in Las Vegas on Sunday, where they appeared very, very flirty doing a duet on their 2004 song, My Boo. The song is 20 years old, right? In an Instagram post made Monday, Swiss raved about the production, all while telling people to focus on more than just the singer's on-stage chemistry. Now, this is supposed to be your wife. Focus more. Don't just focus on that. Focus on everything else that's going on. When that's something that just can't be overlooked. Okay, we're listening to the song, but I mean, dang, he's filling up your wife on stage, brother. Well, he's not a brother. He's filling up your wife on stage, Swizzy. Hey, ain't that his nickname, Swizzy? He's doing that. So he said, we should be focused more on that. Well, check this out. He's a heathen. You understand? Swiss Beast is a heathen. He's not an Israelite. But blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we better take heed. We better not abstain. We better abstain from the appearances of evil. Before the Most High God is, allows certain things that we wouldn't like to happen in our lives. You understand? Now, what I was saying about Alicia Keys having, HIV. Like, no brother that doesn't have HIV in their right mind would be flirty with someone who does. Meaning, well, that's the trick and the witchcraft behind the whole thing. I mean, because Usher has herpes. And he's, like I was saying earlier, some man sued Usher a few years ago. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Some man sued Usher not too long ago. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. And this happened in 2017. So this happened quite a while ago. So New York, 2 women and a man are filing a lawsuit against R&B singer Usher, alleging that he exposed them to an STD. You understand? 2 men, 2 women, and a man. 2 women and a man. There have been numerous reports that Usher was diagnosed with herpes in 2009. So he's been diagnosed with herpes since 2009. And now the propaganda for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is, already not good. So now every sister is lusting over a brother with herpes, and every brother is lusting over a sister that has HIV. And no one thinks that that's a problem. No one thinks that that's problematic. No other nation of people would have this going on with their, nation. These wouldn't be representations or representatives for if a so-called Chinese, this wouldn't be a representative. These 2 people wouldn't be representatives for so-called Chinese people if they were Chinese. You understand? The so-called white man, the Africans. No one would put someone like that on a pedestal so high, all because they can sing. They got bigger issues they need to worry about. But, like I said, that's the witchcraft behind that. It's part of the witchcraft behind that, man. That's part of the witchcraft behind that. And it all comes from selfishness. It comes from selfishness, man. So, let me share this class real quick. I got to share the new one since the old one was tripping. The old one was tripping, man. The old one was tripping. They had to get some glitches out of the feed. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Like I said, with that whole thing is why black people, you know what I mean, like why we can't get ahead as a nation, because we looking too much into that. You understand? And let me get another preset. Let me get another. And this is this precept is in Leviticus chapter 19 verse 29. And the Bible says, "Do not prostitute thy daughter." So now with Swiss Beats, she's not his daughter. I mean, Salakia, Alicia Keys isn't Swiss Beats' daughter. She's not his daughter. But there are a lot of brothers who, just like Swiss Beats, who believe that, you know, it's just entertainment. You understand? So we have to be, you know, men are supposed to be stern. Men are supposed to be leading the women. You understand? So you have to be, even if you have a wife, you have to be a father to her in a sense, to where you're guiding her in the direction that she needs to go, because that's the job the Most High God gave the man. You understand? We're not supposed to be like Adam and listen to Eve. Eve is supposed to listen to us. If Eve would have listened to Adam and Adam didn't listen to Eve, we wouldn't have sin in the world today. But Adam was weak. Adam listened to Eve. Adam was a brother who just, you know, has the same spirit as Swiss Beats. Adam had the same spirit as Swiss Beats. It's just entertainment. Y'all paying attention to the wrong thing. That's why sin entered the world, because of cats like Swiss Beats. That same spirit anyway, because Swiss Beats is a heathen. But Adam picked up a heathen spirit and he listened to Eve and followed Eve instead of Eve following him. That's the point. You understand? So the Bible says this, man. Do not prostitute thy daughter. What's a prostitute? I hope they don't kick me off social media, you know, for saying the word prostitute. Let me see. Make sure we ain't kicked off. What is a prostitute? A prostitute is a woman who pleases men for money. That's what a prostitute is. So the Bible says, don't prostitute thy daughter. So don't prostitute thy daughter. So Swiss Beats said this is for entertainment purposes only. And entertainers, they get paid a whole lot of money to entertain. So with that being said, if you wouldn't prostitute your daughter, and you damn sure wouldn't prostitute your wife or your sister or your children or anything like that. So because he's getting a bag, and Alicia Keys is getting a bag to do the halftime show, that means she can forget about the steamy performance. Just focus on the song. Just focus on the art. Just focus on the entertainment. When the Bible says we shouldn't prostitute our daughters, I don't give a damn for how much money it is. You understand? How much money it is. You shouldn't prostitute your wife, man. You shouldn't allow your wife to be some whore on stage with Usher who has herpes. I know a lot of you sisters there, y'all run right up to Usher right now, herpes and all, and be in his face, kicking it. Do not prostitute thy daughter, to cause her to be a whore. Don't cause your sister to be a whore. Don't cause your daughter to be a whore. And how do you cause your daughter to be a whore? With comments like Swiss Beats made. Comments like he made. Talking about it, just focus on the art. Y'all worried about the wrong damn thing. Hold on, let me go back to what he said. Hold on, I don't even think I got that far. Let me go back to... In an Instagram post made Monday, Swiss raved about the production, all while telling people to focus on more than just the singer's on-stage chemistry. Just don't focus more on don't just focus on that. I know he was, you know, grinding on my wife. I know it was a steamy performance, but just ignore that. Because we got to get this money. We got bills that we need to pay. That's what Swiss Beats really means. He means we got to get this money. So he'll sacrifice the morality of his wife for some money. And they have children, I believe. I don't know if they have children. I don't follow Alicia Keys or Swiss Beats like that, but you know. But this is what he said. Y'all talking about the wrong damn thing. Y'all talking about the wrong damn thing. No, we are talking about the right damn thing. Everyone in the earth seen it. Everybody seen how Usher was on your wife. Everybody seen that, man. We're not talking about the wrong damn thing. We're tired of our sisters, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We're tired of our sisters being whores. We're tired of our sisters having hot girl summers. We're tired of STDs and AIDS. We're tired of our children being molested. We're tired of single family homes. We're tired of all the chaos in a black household. We're tired of all that. And it all stems from selfishness. And it all stems from remarks like Swiss Beats. And it all stems from us not knowing who we are, following these other nations. It all stems from that, man. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner sisters realize they have to be modest and need to be modest and put some damn clothes on. The sooner brothers realize that they have to, stop chasing hoes. Stop trying to sleep with hoes and make whores and prostitutes out of their sisters and daughters and cousins and friends. The more we allow that type of behavior to happen, the more our culture, the more our people are destroyed. That's what we have to realize as Israelites, man. If not, follow Swiss Beats. Have that same spirit of Adam and be destroyed by the Most High God. Because that's exactly what we're asking for if, you understand me, if we want our sisters to be whore, or we agree with whoredom, man. Y'all talking about the wrong damn thing. The rapper/producer wrote along with the photo of Keys at the piano supporting a sparkling red Dolce & Gabbana look with the train that billowed, whatever the hell that meant. So that's all I'm saying, man. But the Bible says this. Let me go back to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore. So don't prostitute thy daughter and cause her to be a whore. Don't agree with whorish behavior. Don't agree with some man grinding on you. If I seen my daughter, if I seen my daughter, Lord forbid, if I seen my daughter and she's married and I see her grinding on, and some other man grinding on her, oh, me and her husband, we got problems. You don't do no brother like that. That's my daughter, true enough. But if she's married, her husband is my brother still. Oh yeah, we checking. You got to get checked for that. She would get checked for that, and he would be in every right to check her. And if that was my daughter, and I would be proud that he checked her. I'd be proud if my daughter had a husband that's going to correct her and lead her in a way that she should be going. I'm not going to side with my daughter and she's wrong. That's how you make a prostitute or a whore out of your daughter. When my daughters get married, they're going to have some hardcore cat that's going to check he's going to check them. Every chance he get. Yeah, he right. I'm not going to agree with my daughter just because she's daddy's little girl. Yeah, you right. Yeah, daughter. Yeah, he right. You don't need to be wearing that. I didn't raise you to wear that. Yeah. That's how it's going to go. That's how it should be. But instead, a lot of sisters, a lot of children in general don't get raised with both parents because, the woman wasn't happy. You understand? If you cater to listen, and this is what brothers need to realize. A lot of brothers need to realize this. If you cater to a woman being happy, you're a part of the problem, man. You're a part of the problem. If you cater to some woman that all she wants to do is be happy in life, you're a part of the problem. I'm telling you straight up and down like that. Because most women that want to be happy, 9 times out of 10 means they just want to go be a whore. Am I lying? They want to go be happy, and they, don't stay at home with the children. They're out all night drinking. They're one day at this turn up and into that club and to this restaurant and to this, and they flying in and out of town, and the whole time the children who need them at home, because of course the father's not there, they're just at home winging it. They're at home winging it. And we accept this. So she's going to meet some brother. And what's going to happen? She's going to meet some brother. And the brother, he's just trying to get his rocks off. He's going to act like he likes you. For what? How long does it take to get into sister pants? For a week? He's going to act like he likes you for a week. Hell, I don't even give it a week. He's going to act like he likes you for 2 days. He's going to act like he likes you for 2 days until he gets his rocks off, and he's going to leave you. He's going to leave you. And in that process, and if it does last longer, guess what's going to happen? Your children are going to get molested. Your children are going to get molested because some brother you met in 2 days, he got his rocks off because he told you was pretty. He told you was cute. And he's going to get his rocks off. You're going to allow him to come in and out of your home with your kids whenever he feels like it. And he's going to molest your children. Am I making this up? No, I'm not. I watch so many Facebook reels and stories and, videos on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram of sisters. Almost every sister that got molested before the age of 10, the person who molested them, took advantage of them, was their mother's boyfriend. Almost guaranteed, almost every time. You can research, you can go look at the statistics. Almost every young girl who was promiscuous because their mother was a whore and she bring different men in and out of the house, almost every sister that lived that lifestyle, children were molested by some man that they brought home and called their boyfriend. You can look it up. I mean, there are countless incidences that, if that's a word, so like if it ain't a word, correct me, But there are countless incidents that when the mother brings home a man, that the children suffer and get molested, boys and girls, because the mother doesn't know how to be in a relationship because she's trying to pursue happiness. She's trying to be happy. She doesn't know what it feels like to, be selfless. She's selfish. She wants to be happy. She wants to, have an orgasm every night. That's her mission, to have an orgasm every night. To be high every night. To get likes on Instagram every night. That's her happiness. While the children need much more than likes. Well, I mean, the children can't be raised off your orgasms. And the men that you bring over, they can't be raised off that. And then, you slander the father. You understand? You slander the father, but children can't be raised off of orgasms. I hope you sisters know that. They can't be raised off of orgasms. Children can't be raised if you got WAP. I mean, do you sisters know that? Because you have WAP. I mean, what is that going to do for your children? You're going to attract men that are going to molest their children. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. And remember, hold on, let me get this article real quick. Let me get this. Let me get this real quick. It's pulling up right now. Let me see if this plays. Hold on. Give me 1 second. It's buffering. Let me see if I can get this right here. Okay, here you go, right here.
The idea is to
you know I ain't got the you know I ain't paying for the YouTube premium, so it's an ad. I ain't paying for the premium. It's a lot. Yeah, skip that. They already getting too much of my money. All right, so here you go, right here. So she was listening. Okay, so in this video, she was listening. This is at the time when WAP just dropped, with her and Megan Thee Stallion. So she was listening. She was on camera going live, turning up, doing her Dougie, right? She was turning up, doing her Dougie. Then her daughter, I believe her daughter walked in the kitchen while she was turning up. And she hurried up and turned it off. And said, no, 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 no. All right. Hold on, let's
wake that ass up in the morning. The Breakfast Club. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy Angela Yee. We are the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Now, if you just joined us, we're talking about Cardi B. Now, what happened while Cardi B was on live, Yee?
Well, she was listening to WAP, and then her daughter, Culture, walked in the room, and she switched it off right quick because it's not appropriate for a child to be listening to. But now people are going in on her saying that.
So it seems to me, even though it's entertainment, Cardi B understands that that is wrong. You understand? Her daughter walked in while she was listening to that song WAP. And Cardi B said, no, I don't want my daughter listening to that. So the sister has some understanding that how music can affect children, how entertainment can affect children. And we don't consider that. We just go with the flow. We just go with the flow. Let me keep playing it.
She makes these music. She makes music for everybody else's daughter, but she won't let her daughter listen to it. And Cardi said she doesn't make music for kids. She makes music for adults. Parents are responsible for what their children listen to or see.
And that's true. Parents are responsible or should be responsible. Cardi said, look, I'm an entertainer. I'm making music for adults. But there's always a but. When it comes to this, Cardi B, of course she's not in the truth. Of course she doesn't understand the Bible. You understand? You still shouldn't have, push the agenda of telling everybody you got WAP and you have a husband. It's no different than Alicia Keys. So I'm not, going to give her credit on that aspect. But what I will give her credit on is that at least she knows the effects of the industry, the effects of how these messages can alter a child's mind and make them curious in things that they may not have ever been curious before. You understand? Because the Super Bowl, everybody's watching the Super Bowl. Everybody's watching the Super Bowl. Children, everybody. So why would have a halftime show on the Super Bowl that is showing Alicia Keys be a whore with another man? And like I said, I believe they have children. I know if, let me keep playing it.
And I agree with her. I agree with her wholeheartedly. She makes music for adults, just like actors make rated R movies for adults and not meant for kids. Now, if your child watches it, that is on you. You should be controlling what your kid watches, what your kid sees. Like I control what my kids watch, what my kids see. I see what they watch on their iPad. I see what they watch on their TV. I also hear the music that they listen to. I mean, my kids listen to Kids Bop, and there are some songs that they listen to, but I'm able to protect what they're listening to. You know what I mean? If not, they're with me all the time, or they're with my wife. So,
I mean, that's enough on that. I mean, you get the point. You get the point, man. Let me go to, you get the point. Oh, I didn't finish that precept, Salakia. Okay, and this is going back to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore. So don't allow your daughter to be on, that type of time. Don't allow your daughter to, and I always tell this story too. It was a brother, I remember being locked up in Leavenworth, right? And this brother was, he was so proud. He said, yeah, my daughter bought me a car. I was like, all right, I'm asking the brother. He said she bought him a BMW. So he's about to go home. He's excited. He about to get this new ride. And then I asked him, I'm like, damn, what your daughter do? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm curious, like, what your daughter do in order to buy you a BMW? I'm like, she got to have a good job. I'm thinking, like, she must have a good job. He's like, oh, she's a stripper. And, I'm thinking at the time, like, well, damn, your daughter, you cool with your daughter being a stripper? I mean, she did give you a BMW. But because we're selfish and we only look forward to getting things and being, in the best positions in life, he didn't care that his daughter was a whore. He only cared about his BMW. I mean, and this is his daughter. I couldn't imagine any of my daughters. Man, I will take that car and burn it. Set it on fire. My daughter come buy me a BMW because she's showing her body to every man that's willing to tip her. That is disgusting. That's disgusting, man. So do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom. What does that mean? Lest the land fall to whoredom. What's that talking about? Lest the land fall to whoredom. Don't prostitute your daughter, because if we set these examples as men, guess what? If we allow one whore into our culture, all the women are going to be whores, because that's all we look forward to. Every rapper, every entertainer, every ball player, they all go find whores to be with. How the hell is Kim Kardashian, and she's not a sister, I'm only using her as an example, but this is what I'm saying. We have the same mentality when it comes to these whores. This is what I'm saying. We have the same mentality when it comes to whores with any nation. Brothers are gonna go find whores. So like Kim Kardashian, she started with Ray J. They made a porno, and then she blew up and got famous after that. And then a sea full of Negroes. And went after Ray J. And not only Negroes, a sea full of men. But everybody is still chasing that Kardashian tail, as if it is something special, when everybody under the sun has had a taste of their fruit. Everybody under the sun has had a taste of their fruit, man. But for some reason, we want hoes. We want the whores. Brothers don't want a righteous sister. They want to go deal with some hoe, man. And because we allow our daughters to be whores. We allow our sisters to be whores. Because it's a form of selfishness. I was just talking to somebody about this earlier. Being a whore in a woman's mind is woman empowerment. For some reason, being a whore and twerking and being able to show your body, the whole hoe culture is empowerment to a woman in their mind. You know what I mean? They're feminists, and you know they making this movement about being hoes. But how does that empower the woman? Because if you're going to be, you know, that cheap with yourself, I believe that's what men have been looking for forever. In reality, you are empowering the men. You're not empowering yourself. You're empowering men to take advantage of you and to get away with it. I can sleep with you and throw you away. I don't have to have any responsibility, any ties. All I got to do is give you some money or tell you you're sexy and cute and I'm good. Where has this been all my life? That's not empowering women. That's empowering men. Well, I don't know if he's a Hamite. That cat Polite. It was a cat a long time ago called Polite who came up against the Isupk. And Captain Tazariak destroyed Polite. You understand me? He destroyed Polite. And Polite, you know, he had the nerve to say that the black woman was God. The black woman was God. The same black woman who he took advantage of in a hotel room when she was a minor. He took advantage of his God because he didn't believe that black women are gods. Men that tell you what you want to hear, men that allow you to do what you want to do, they're going to get from you what they want because they're telling you everything you want to hear. And if you that type of silly bride, if you that type of silly woman, you're going to get what you're looking for. You understand? A man that loves you, a father that loves you, a husband that loves you, a brother that loves you isn't going to allow you to do what you want to do. You're going to have restrictions. There's going to be restraints. There's going to be rules and regulations because the Most High God loves you. The Most High God gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. He didn't command you to be a hot girl. He didn't command you to be on stage with Usher dancing when you have a husband. Hell, the Most High God didn't even command you to go sleep with some damn heathen. But that's a story for another day. That's a story for another day, man. So, what did it say? Lest the land fall to whoredom. Okay. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness. And the land's going to become full of wickedness if we allow our women to be whores. If we allow our women to continue to act like Eve, and to think like Eve, and to move like Eve. You can't allow the sister to be naive and think this nation is going to grow in brotherhood and sisterhood. Because everything that the woman wants when she's thinking like Eve, when she's naive and she doesn't want to accept that she's a woman, when she doesn't want to accept that the man has authority over her and not the other way around. I mean, look at the conditions of us, man. Look at the conditions of us. Oh, it's one story I want to share. I know we got to get out of here. I started late because of technical difficulties, of course. It's one story that I want to share with y'all. And this happened in Kansas City, man. This is what happens when blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians don't... Hold on. Give me 1 second. I got to switch up out of here. This is what happens when blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians don't keep God's laws. This is what happens, man. Situations like this, which is a sad situation, which no one should have to live through, which no one should have to endure through. But we have to endure through so much and go through so much because we don't keep God's commandments, because we continue to disobey the Most High God and we think the grass is greener on the other side, and it's not. So let me get this, man. Let me get this video. Man, I got so much content I could have sent. second. Okay, this is the story right here. And this happened in Kansas City. Let me play this real quick before we get out of here.
Mariah Thomas was at home with her 1-month-old baby. Mariah put her baby in a hot oven for an undisclosed amount of time.
So did you hear what he said? Mariah, the sister named Mariah, put her baby in the oven for an undisclosed amount of time. And sad situation. And yes, the oven was on. If you're not familiar with this story, let me keep playing it.
Mariah's grandfather was told something was wrong with the baby and he needed to return home immediately. Upon arriving home, he ran inside the house. He smelled smoke inside the house and found the baby inside her crib.
So her father ran home, went to the crib, went home, and said he smelled smoke inside of the house. You understand?
Deceased.
Let me rewind it a time.
Mariah's grandfather was told something was wrong with the baby and he needed to return home immediately. Upon arriving home, he ran inside the house. He smelled smoke inside the house and found the baby inside her crib, deceased.
Sad, man.
He picked up the baby and he asked what happened, to which Mariah replied, I thought I put her in the crib and I accidentally put her in the oven.
So he asked the sister, what happened? She said, I thought I put her in the crib, but I ended up putting her in the oven. This is the type of things that happen to us when we disobey the Most High God. You understand? And this is a very sad case. This is very, very sad, man. This is, I mean, and it's like, you know, I asked thousands of questions like, where was the father? But then when you think about it, all these single parent homes, there's no fathers in the home. There's no fathers. There's no brotherhood. There's no sisterhood. We have no community. We have no real community. And that's why I'm so thankful for the Isupk under Commander General Hana, because we have a real nation of brothers and sisters who strive for perfection and righteousness. We see a sister that is not mentally stable, who may be abusing drugs, who may have, you know, she may have postpartum, you know, what's the disease that sisters get? When, you know, after they give delivery, some sisters get that and they, you know, they're not in their right mind, they're not stable. If we had a nation of brothers and sisters who, you know, really cared about each other, things like this would never, ever happen to a child. A newborn baby, man. A newborn goddamn baby was put in the oven. And we always talking about we Christian and going to church and praying. When the hell are black people going to wake the hell up, man? And start having actions behind that word love. Especially showing actions to the Most High God. When are we going to show the Most High God that we love him, man? When are we going to do it? We always said, when are we going to stop being whores? When are we going to stop sleeping with whores? When are we going to stop getting divorced? When are we going to stop celebrating birthdays? When are we going to stop eating shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster? When are we going to really uphold our love for the Most High God as a nation? When are we going to do it, man? After situations like this happen to this poor little baby? After that? I guess Alicia Keys' performance was more important than this baby. I guess Usher, you know, basically on stage committing adultery is more important than this baby. Because the reason this baby is unalived is because we don't keep the laws of the Most High God. So if you're saying that, you know, not keeping the laws isn't important, I guess Usher and Alicia Keys is right, man. I guess they was right. And I guess it was right that this baby was unalive. Because that's what you're saying according to the Bible. And I can prove it. You know I can prove it. I got the Bible right here in my hand. And I'm going to read this precept, man. Because this is sad. And this is Romans chapter 6, verse 23. For the wages of sin is death. But the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yahweh our Christ, our power. The wages of sin is death. And being a brother or a Salakia, and not being a brother and not being a sister to your nation, to your people, allowing your sisters to be whores, allowing your daughters to be whores, sinning against the Most High God, more situations are going to happen to babies like this, man. Let me keep playing it.
The grandfather called 12 and handed the baby over to KCFD. The victim was declared dead on arrival. Mariah was arrested and charged with endangering the welfare of a child. If convicted, she'll serve between 10 to 30 years in prison. So, your grandfather comes home and he finds your baby deceased, okay? Now,
we get the video. We get the video. You understand? But that's what happened to that poor baby, man. Because for the wages of sin is death. When you are a sinner, the baby didn't do anything wrong. I'm not saying the baby was sinning. The baby couldn't have sinned. It's a baby. It's a newborn baby. But when your mother or your father is a sinner, it can affect your life. It can affect your life. The sins of your father and mother. You won't, that baby wasn't judged for the sins of her mother, but because her mother is a sinner, it was an unfortunate event that happened, man. You understand? So if we continue to allow, our children to, do the things that we wouldn't, that we're not supposed to do, I'll say that. There's going to be more situations like this poor newborn that was unalive by her own mother because she thought she put her in the crib, but she ended up putting her in the oven. There's going to be tons of more situations like that, man. Like I just read in Romans. So, and I didn't even get to the rest of the rest of the things. So let me read it again. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yahweh Shah. So, the wages of sin is death. If we want to continue to eat shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster, if we want to continue to celebrate our birthdays, if Usher wants to continue to commit adultery on stage with Alicia Keys and Swiss B say we paying attention to the wrong thing, like we read in Leviticus, you don't allow your daughter to be a prostitute. You don't prostitute your daughter out, even if it was for entertainment purposes, because they're getting paid at the end of the day for this performance. And if you allow your daughters to think that money or mammon is more important than their integrity, you're allowing wickedness in Israel, and the Most High God just ain't gonna have that. And that's the reason why these poor little babies die. That's why sisters put their babies in the oven, because of sin. Because of sin, because of iniquity. But I guess your Christian pastors will have you thinking that it's two different things, when in reality it's not. You never know when you can be judged. And I ask people this almost every class, who aren't in the UPK, of course, because people in the UPK understand judgment. They understand what true love is. We understand what brotherhood and sisterhood is, and endurance. We understand these things. And we teach our children these things. We teach our children integrity. We teach our children morals and values. We don't allow our sisters to go out here and be whores. You understand? It should hurt your heart when you see your sister being a whore. You shouldn't be, as a man, being so lustful, thinking that you can just go get a easy, get your rocks off easily. You should be looking at that sister like she's destroyed, and that should bother you as a man. It should bother us, man. It should bother us. You understand? So yes, that bothers me when I see my sister Alicia Keys up there. When I see my brother Usher up there, that bothers me. Because I know they're destroyed. And I know what is going to come from that type of behavior. Babies in the oven, man. Babies in the oven. And with that, Imodium is me up here. ISUPK security announcements. We, the ISUPK, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18 verse 21. Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew. Like Asherah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation. We got the Feast of Purim. When is that? The 24th? Thursday the 24th. Commander Junior Hana will be teaching. We'll be watching Commander Junior Hana for the opening and closing. Thursday and Friday. You understand? Get with your camp leaders to get all the details in your zone. If you're a brother or sister, just tune it in. Especially here in Kansas City. You understand? Message us if you would like to attend or check out the High Holy Day. Also, we have the Lord's 55th Annual Passover, April 20th. You understand? Get a Lord the hand for that. April 20th is the Lord's 55th Annual Passover. It's going to be glorious. And I can't wait to see my brothers and sisters who I haven't seen in the UPK since last year. Have some drinks. You understand? Keep our culture, keep our identity, keep everything how the Most High told us to rock out, man. Straight up like that. Remind Akim and Akwapsi, check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or war scarf. And with that, class is dismissed.